Morning. It's not morning. It's like 9:30 p.m., but I just woke up like 30 minutes ago. And that's why I look like this. My hair is slicked back because I got out of the shower. So I'm completely off kilter. I imagine this is what living in Antarctica or the Arctic Circle. Does anyone live in the Arctic Circle? I know people, there's like, National Oceanographic Atmospheric Association facilities. I know there's people down south, but is there anyone on the North Pole? I don't know. I know Santa's there with his reindeer. But that has absolutely, as I always do, nothing to do with what we're talking about. Today we're going to talk about 50-50-25. This is for the boys and the girls, but more the boys, especially if you're younger. And it may actually be obsolete by today's standards, and it should be, as I'll point out later. 50-50-25 is a rule me and some friends came up with back in my college days, our college days. And it means 50% know times 50% show equals 25% go. And this is a very important rule for you boys to know. And what it means is there's a 50-50% chance the woman's going to say yes or no. Everyone says, what's the worst that could happen? She'll just say no. Well, there is something that's much worse that can happen. She'll say yes, so there's a 50% chance she'll say yes, but then there's only a 50% chance that she'll show. So there's a 50% no chance times a 50% technically no-show chance. So your actual chances of actually going on the date are 25%, meaning 25% show. Now, in reality, empirically, it's more like 30% no times 30, what is it? Yeah, 30% no times 30% show. So 70% of the time, women will say yes to a date, and only about 30% of the time will they actually show up. They'll always cancel, they'll always bail, sometimes they'll outright stand you up. The majority of women, at least empirically speaking, will bail, so it's like a 21% show. Now, why this is important is, well, twofold. One, so you don't waste your time. Just because a girl says yes to a date doesn't mean you show up. You bank on it, all right? You never, ever plan. 70% of them will bail at the last minute. Now, of course, things have changed, and maybe that's a little bit different empirically. But just because she said yes, just because she gave you her number, or text you, or whatever it is today, that doesn't mean you're going on the date. So always, 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 especially because like if you're going on dates, you're like saving your prime time, free time, like Friday nights, Saturday nights, to go out with these girls. So always have a backup plan. Matter of fact, you're better off planning, and I've done this in the past where I would double schedule dates, and I never had two girls conflict. One would always bail, if not both would bail. So you always have like a backup plan, like you always plan on hanging out with your buddies. One time, I mean, I'm not joking, you think I make this up, I'm not joking. There was one time I forgot I had a date, and then the girl called me because I was over at my buddy's house playing video games. And we were having a good old time playing, and then the girl called me like, oh shit, that's right, I have a date tonight. And it's a sad testament, but you almost, the girl says, yeah, I'll show up, you pat him on the head, say, sure you will, dear. And then you don't even think about it. And then you go off and do your own thing, which is, it's better to be in that situation where you forget you had a date, because then girls like that, if you're like, what is he doing? Why is he so busy? So, yeah, absolutely, you don't rely on a girl. That's how simple it is. You don't believe what they say, that they're going to be there at that certain time and go out with you. So you always have a backup plan. The second thing is that it's a testament just in general to how you cannot rely on what girls say. It's sad. It's sad. And a lot of girls are going to think this is bigoted or misogynist. No, this is what it has been. This is the empirical data. And I'm not going to disrespect myself or the experiences of other men who've experienced this. You don't rely on girls. They're unreliable. Especially in maybe business, sure, you can, I'll be here at this time, da-da-da-da-da-da. But when it comes to any kind of social or romantic or dating activity, you don't do it. Now, this, I hate to say, is dated advice, because I don't think anyone really dates anymore. And I believe that is the way to go. I think that's the future of dating. This coffee show up. No, you don't do coffee. You don't do coffee. Like if you're on the way and there's a coffee store and she's there, fine, okay, but you never do the coffee date. That's not, no. You don't even do dates. I don't even think, I think this is dying, thank God. You don't take the girl to dinner. You don't take them out bowling. You don't spend money on them taking the fancy times just to see if you like them. That's such a stupid waste of resources, especially if you're younger. I remember, I thought, I was dumb and young and stupid. I would take dates that I had when I was young, in college, and even out of college, and didn't have any money. Like, I would save up the $50 to take a girl. Like, there was this restaurant called Le Carousel. And I remember it having a distinct impact on my finances for that week. Like, I had to sacrifice in other areas because I saved up the money to take this girl out to this. It wasn't even hoity-toity. I mean, it was nice. It was certainly better than average. And it was for nothing. It was for nothing. You don't. It is like bar. Like, yeah, meet me at the bar. You get drunk. You buy your own drinks. Maybe get her drunk to take her back home. But you never. If I was to give advice to younger guys, you never, ever take a girl to a nice dinner for first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh day. You only take dating, like nice dinners and dancing. You reserve that for a girl who's special and deserves those things, like your steady girlfriend or a girl you're going to marry or a fiance or something like that. You don't take the girl out dancing on the first date. You don't take the girl to dinner on the first date. You meet them for drinks at a bar late at night or in the evening. And you don't, coffee, there's debates on it, but whatever, because they're so unreliable, you don't invest that much either. So, hopefully you learned something. 50-50-25. Remember, it's more empirically 30-30-21, because you got to do the 70 from the 30 times 0.7 times 0.3, and I can trust you men know the math on that. So don't, and don't get down. That's another thing. A lot of you think, oh, she said yes. Dude, they are going to stand you up. Girls are always going to flake at the last minute. They're flaky. They're flaky. They are pure dandruff. That's how flaky they are. Do not take it personally. That's just their nature. A lot of you will think, I used to think, what's wrong with me? She said she was going to be here. That kind of, don't take it personally. Girls just don't have the temerity or the honor that men do. Like if you say, your buddy says, I'll be there at 6. Chances are your buddy will be there at 6. Girls are different. They're just completely different ball of wax. But don't let it reflect on personally on you. That's just how they do it. So, again, hopefully you learned something, and we'll talk to you later. Toodles.